All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you, wherever you are in this beautiful world. Welcome to our Inner Circle Live pre-New York session. I'm your host, Ryan Carthage. We'll be joined shortly by my awesome partner, Mr. Benny Allen. Hope everybody's doing well today on this beautiful Wednesday. As always, let's turn off all distractions, grab a pen and paper, let's take lots of notes, and let's make sure that we participate and engage. We want to make sure we start our day off by taking massive action. That action stands for accepting all possible losses before entering a trade, preparing you for any outcome, sending yourself, body, mind, and spirit, ensuring a balanced approach to trading, trusting your education, strategy, trade skills, and intuition. Imagine your trade successfully materializing, obeying your trading strategy, avoiding your decisions based on greed or fear, and never looking back or stopping once your trade has commenced. All right. So let's get down to business. I'm glad to be back. I've been gone for a week. Um, so getting caught up on things. Spent some time in New Orleans working the Super Bowl experience. Was a great time. The team did well. So looking forward to getting back in the saddle and getting things rocking on this side. Uh, Appreciate my partner Benny for holding it down as I was out. But if everybody can hear me okay, drop me one in the chat and we will get rocking. All right, cool deal. So let's hop over to trading economics. Let's hop over to trading economics, see what's happening there. We'll do a recap of what went down yesterday, and then give you some insight on what to look forward to for today as well. Um, mm, so, uh, actually, let's do a recap of yesterday, just because I want to cover just some things as I was getting updated on just the market overall. Uh, so let's do this first. I was just taking some notes. So yesterday, uh, the market was mixed. You had corporate earnings, you had policy announcements, and just overall investor sentiment. You had the Dow Jones increased by 0.3%, your S&P 500 stayed flat, and your Nasdaq Composite decreased by 0.4%. Um, some of your key drivers in this movement or kind of consolidation, if you will. Yeah, Coca-Cola, the shares rose, surpassing the fourth quarter earnings expectation. Yeah, Tesla take a dip with concerns over Elon Musk potentially attempting to take over of OpenAI. Um, then you have the White House and also new tariffs on steel and aluminum imports. Those are set to take effect on March 12th. And this move led to mixed performance among American steelmakers. And then you had, from a Federal Reserve perspective, which we'll dig into a little bit, um, Jerome Powell, in his testimony before the Senate Banking Committee, indicated that there was no immediate plans to adjust interest rates, citing a strong economy with low unemployment. Um, and persistent inflation above the 2% target. So we'll dig into his statement a little bit more here in a minute. And then just an overview for today. Investors looking ahead for the CPI data, which will provide insights into the inflation trends, right? Market participants anticipated 2.9% year-on-year increase, consistent with the December's rate. The data will be pivotal in shaping the expectation for future Federal Reserve policy decisions, right? Additionally, participants are monitoring potential developments in trade policy, especially any further tariff announcements that could introduce some additional volatility. Okay. On the corporate earnings side, Though as those continue to be released, those influence the stock performance. Um, yeah, so got some bouncing back and forth with things happening there. Um, from a currency perspective, uh, bu- 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 Tuesday, some movement, but we'll skip over the Indian rupee for now. But the U.S. dollar had a mixed performance. Um, the U.S. dollar had varied movements, strengthening against the yen by 0.3%, but experienced some modest losses against other major currencies. Investors maintain cautiousness ahead of the CPI data that's coming out today. Then the euro and the British pound, it gained against the dollar. The euro appreciated by 0.5%, while the British pound rose by 0.7 to 1.24, reflecting market reaction to recent tariff announcements and positioning ahead of key data. All right. Um, then the outlook for today, as I said, right, CPI data coming out today, and then we got more testimony from Jerome Powell. Um, so be looking for additional policy signals there, and then tariff implications, right? We continue to follow those announcements. Let's see what potential retaliatory measures from trade partners, which could introduce volatility in the market, right? So tons happening back and forth there. I want to dig in a little bit further on Jerome Powell's testimony yesterday. Um, from an economic perspective, said that the economy remains robust, um, with solid growth and a stable labor market. It does have inflation concerns, um, as things have come down overall. However, they still remain high above the 2% target. Um, and he really pressed on highlighting the importance of not reducing restraint too quickly to ensure that inflation continues to move toward the target, right? So he doesn't want to move too fast in the scenario. So we'll expect continued holding of rates, at least for now. And then with that, no immediate uh, rate cut plans, right? It stated that there's no urgency to cut rates further at this time. It mentioned that the current policy rate is appropriate, and that the Federal Reserve will carefully assess incoming data before making any adjustments. Um, there were questions around the autonomy of the Federal Reserve and the attempted, I'll say, manipulation by the presidential staff. And he responded to the political pressures by just defending the Federal Reserve's independence, asserting that monetary policy decisions should be free from political influence. Um, to effectively manage inflation and economic stability, right? So he's really working to stand firm on that and doesn't want to be swayed in any way by the political song and dance. Additional things that were discussed were digital currency, and he said that he doesn't see the Federal Reserve will not introduce its own digital currency during his tenure, right? So that was a pretty strong statement there. And then from trade policy, um, about recent tariff implementations. He emphasized that while free trade has its merits, the Federal Reserve's role is to react to how trade policies impact the economy rather than to comment on policy themselves. So he's doing a really good job of just staying away from the back and forth of the comments and standing firm on his role of being that independent party, making decisions based on what is and what's happening and how it impacts the economy, not giving opinions on things in one direction or the other. So, um, Yeah, so we'll continue to we'll watch today to see how the testimony goes and see if he gives any additional key insights from from a policy perspective today. All right. Any questions on any of that before we go back over to trade and economics? Nope. All right. Cool deal. So with that, right, U.S. inflation rate expected to hold steady. That inflation rate in the U.S. likely remains steady at 2.9% in January, unchanged from the December figure, which is the highest since July, indicating stalled progress in curbing inflation. All right, on a monthly basis, CPI is expected to have risen by 0.3%, slowing from 0.4%. Meanwhile, annual core inflation anticipated to decline for a second month to 3.1, lowest since April. However, monthly core inflation is projected to edge up by 0.3%, right? So monthly basis moving up, on a overall annual basis moving down. So we'll continue watching the data to see how it actually comes out and to see kind of how the market responds to it. Okay. You have Brent crude. Um, Oil futures fell to around $76 per barrel on Wednesday, snapping a 3-day gain after industrial reports showed a sharp rise in U.S. crude inventories. API data revealed that U.S. crude stocks surged by 9 million barrels last week, far exceeding the expected $2.8 million build, which will mark the largest increase in a year if confirmed by official data later today. Traders also remain cautious amid escalating trade tensions and broader economic uncertainty. Trump's recent steel and aluminum tariffs could disrupt U.S. oil drilling, which relies on specialty steel not produced domestically, right? So if they're impacted there, we could see higher oil prices. However, losses were limited by concerns over Russia and Iranian oil supply due to sanctions. U.S. sanctions imposed last month on tankers, producers, and insurers have disrupted the Russian oil shipments to China and India. All right. And while these sanctions target network shipping Iranian oil to China under Trump's renewed maximum pressure campaign. All right. So we'll continue to watch that and see how things really start to shake out. Um, as we move through the year, we could be in for a very up and down year, that's how it started out. All right. So that's it from an announcement perspective. Give me 1 second. All right. Yep, that's it from an announcement perspective. Let's go over to the calendar. All right. And today, right, this is what we're looking for here. 8:30 CPI data. That's where all eyes are peeled. And then after that, we'll slide over and take a look at Chairman Powell and his testimony at 10 a.m. 10:30, we have crude oil inventories. And then 5 o'clock, we have Member Waller speaking. 1:30, we got Bank of Canada meeting minutes as well. See where things are, what their conversation was coming out of the Bank of Canada. And then tonight we got inflation expectations for the New Zealand dollar. Okay. So that's where we stand. Okay. Any questions from a fundamental perspective or anything that you guys saw that you want to put on the table? Nope. Okay. Cool deal. Let's hop over to the charts. Not a ton really as far as setup goes, because things are back and forth. So we'll go through and we'll see where things are. All right. So the dollar, we're just moving sideways right now, right? Um, as things go back and forth with the tariffs and um just overall geopolitical uncertainties, things back and forth in Gaza with a ceasefire that's not really a ceasefire. Um, you got things really just stagnating right now as the market is trying to find its certainty. Okay, so dollar just moving sideways, so not a ton to really look at or see here. We got to that 618 retracement level, and then we just continue to press sideways here. Okay, um, so that is the DXY. The dollar yen, which we had a post in the community for on Sunday, right? See that beautiful move there. This is on the 1 hour 80-20 at a double bottom here and a nice push to the upside. So we're through TP1. And this on the 1 hour stochastic in that buy zone. So we could get a pullback and then a continuation to that TP2 level, right? But this was a beautiful move long. And I know as of recent, the yen has been continuing to gain strength, but we could be in a position where we see some weakening of that, at least in the short term, before we see that strength continue to build there. So, but that's the dollar yen. We'll come back to the four where you had price uh touch that 118 level before giving that reversal. So we're sitting at TP1 on the 4 hour on this 80-20 as well. All right. Um, so beautiful move to the upside there on this dollar yen. And as we come back to the daily, look at this from a broader perspective. This is where we are, right? Previous resistance here served as support. Beautiful swing low. We're pressing to the upside. Stochastic still in that buy zone, right? So we could definitely be looking for more upward momentum here. Um, haven't had a chance to dig in on the yen just yet, um, as I got back late last night, but we'll definitely do some work on that today, just to get a full view of where the Bank of Japan is, and where they are from a data perspective. But I'm looking for this pair to continue long. Um, I do think we get back to that one, at least that 160 mark. Um, but we'll continue to watch and see how things go. But that's the dollar yen, and it's moved to the upside. Nothing doing there. Just looking at the progress there. Okay. Um, what was? I want to come back to. I'm gonna go through all of the yens in a second, but I want to take a quick look at this Euro CAD. And check its progress. I know Ben went over this one yesterday, right? Had a strong move to the downside and we're recovering now. Stochastic in the buy zone here, right? We got a nice swing low to form there. Okay. Nice swing low to form there. So we're pressing back to the upside. And you see overall, right? And if you can see it here, just been a sideways push, right? Not a ton really happening in this 118 127 zone. So we could be in a space where we get back to the top of this range, right? We head back to the top of the range, and then we come back down to the bottom of the range. Okay. From a longer term perspective, we've been in this 80-20 scenario since 2022, 2023, right? Just bouncing back and forth in this range. So I'm curious to see how this plays out overall, right? As you got a little wedge forming here, right? So we could see this continued bounce until we get here where we have to make a decision. Okay. So we'll continue to monitor this as it goes. From a larger perspective, we're sitting in a B boundary area on the monthly time frame, an 80-20 scenario on the weekly time frame. All right. So it's just range bound right now, but we got a nice move on the lower time frame. So we come down to the 4. There was your 80-20 to the downside. You got an 8-6 retracement here and a double bottom, right? And now we're starting to make this move back to the upside. Okay, so Stochastic is in the sell zone, so it could get a pullback, but starting to make this move to the upside here. Okay. Uh, so with that, right, there's your trend line break and a move long. Okay, so look for pullbacks and continuation to the upside, coming back to the top of that range, right? Just as we just talked about. So look for that move there if you're trading the Euro CAD, and we'll continue to monitor that there over the long term. We come down to the one, and here's your 80-20 scenario. Boom, just missed that D extension. We got our turnover. Now we'll look for price to continue to ride to the upside. Okay. Nice cloud break there. We'll see if we get a pullback and then that continuation long. Okay. So that's where we are on the EuroCAD. Getting started, still in that 118 and 127 zone, but off to a nice start. And we will continue to track this to the upside. Questions on the EuroCAD? Oh, okay. 1 second, everybody. All right, all right, all right. So that's the EuroCAD. Um, no questions there. Take a quick look at the Euro Aussie. And this one was on the move to the upside as well, right? So here on the daily, it's been trying to work its way back to the upside, right? Um, been an interesting scenario here. Oh, we did get to the D extension there. But just been bouncing back and forth, man, right? So beautiful move to the upside. Now we're coming back down, working to get a swing low to form here. Stochastic back in the buy zone. Okay. So looking for a move back long. Okay. Get tomorrow to form bullish. Excuse me, or above that low. Move to the upside there. We'll come down to the 4, where this is really came back and sat in that zone, 8-6 retracement. See the nice bullish action that's happened here over the last 4 hours. Okay. So beautiful move up. Now with that bullish action that gave us a beautiful trend line break. Now we'll look for a pullback and a continuation there. Okay, and we'll see if we got a cloud break on the 1. But got kind of a consolidation there, and then you got your bullish action. So look for a pullback and a continuation to the upside on this Euro Aussie matching extension coming back here at 165. Okay. 167, sorry. 166,992. So we'll look for a price to continue moving to the upside there. On this Euro Aussie, we come down to 1. You see you got your nice cloud break there. Also sitting deep in the zone at 8-6 retracement. Okay, so 4-hour and 1-hour are in alignment there from a capital fib perspective. And then on your sub fib, this is where your 80-20 was. I believe Benny talked about this yesterday as well. Sub fib reversal, boom, right? And there's your cloud break that happened early this morning. Boom. So now we'll catch that pullback and a continuation to the upside on this Euro Aussie. Okay, the extension achieved. We'll look for AB boundary, pull back into the zone. And then if you're not in that, you'll be able to catch that to the upside. All right. That's their top side target coming in here at 166.9, right? Just below 167. Okay. So that's where we are on the Euro Aussie. Looking bullish for right now. 80-20 played out beautifully there on the one. Questions on the Euro Aussie? Anybody take any of these plays? I covered them over the weekend and yesterday. No? Panit did, yep. GJ, UJ. Beautiful. Yep, we're gonna talk about those. Sweet. Great work. Great work. Great work. So that was on the move to the upside there. Let's dig into these yens a little bit. Aussie yen. Been lingering, right? Just like the others. Another press down, right? We came into the 8-6 retracement level. Um, mm, I don't know why I have that second fib on there. Sorry about that. 618 retracement here. We came back just shy of that level here on that last push down. That stochastic is still in this buy zone here, right? Trying to press out of it. So more upward movement coming. We could see resistance again at this 98.74 level once we get there. So we could be range bound here for a little while, depending on what happens out of Australia. But trying to get some legs to the upside here. Okay. Once today's candle closes, if it stays above, right, that'll be our swing low on the daily. Okay. So looking for this one to continue moving to the upside. Um, and as stated previously, get back to these highs, right? Our low came in here. This is our capital fib on this. We got a sub fib running as well. The capital fib here at $90. 786 level puts us at that 127 extension, right? Giving us a double top there. So looking for this one to continue moving to the upside. Taking this time, bouncing back and forth, but I still think we get to these higher ranges before we get that full yen strength to the downside. Okay, so watching that move to the upside there is one I'm not in, but I am looking forward to continue moving to the upside there. Okay, I'm waiting on the high price here for that move back down. Coming down to the 4, right? That last push down just pushed us deeper into the zone there. Okay, so 8-6 retracement, matching extension here, 101,990. Okay, and you see we're trying to break the cloud here, haven't quite been able to do it yet. Okay, we got a Kumo twist here of the cloud, right? So trying to get that full confirmation on the cloud to form, but we need a nice break to confirm that. So that's what we're waiting on there. If you're looking at it from a trend line perspective, you got your trend line break here, right? On that push. Now likely get a pullback and a continuation. Okay. So Aussie yen still in the sweet spot. Still looking for this one to play out to the upside. Just taking his time. Just taking his time. So that's where we are on the Aussie yen. If you come down to the 1, ran fibs from the bottom on this one, just tracking this retracement here. Looking for price to come back to the 618-786 range, right? And see if we can get it to settle in here and give us that nice move back to the upside to give us that cloud break on the 4. Okay. So that's what I'm looking at here on the 1 hour on the Aussie yen. One more push down. And then giving us that action there. Okay. So that's where we are on the Aussie yen. Any questions here? No, no. All right, cool beans. Um, CAD yen. Similar story to the Aussie, right? 618 retracement, almost a double bottom here. Got a nice push. Okay, this is a swing low. No, we'll cancel that. We'll move that down. There's a swing low there. Stochastic just moving straight through the middle here, right? But trying to push to the upside. We'll see. We'll see what the meeting minutes out of the Bank of Canada had to say. See if it gives the Canadian dollar any strength. Um, based on the details of the conversation, forward guidance, anything like that. So we'll see what happens there today. But this one's starting to push back to the upside. So we'll see if we get a catalyst for this to continue riding long. Again, like I said, similar to that Aussie, excuse me, where I'm looking at to get back to these higher prices, right? Take its time, right? It could be the year that we see it, but looking forward to continue moving along here, and then we'll look for some potential yen strength, um, safe haven type activity on a move back down. Okay, so but trying to get some legs, so we'll see if we're able to get that moving to the upside. Coming down to the 4, so you got a nice cloud break right there. Take these out. Got a nice cloud break there. Boom, bullish ahead. So now do we get a pullback and a continuation here? Okay. Running the fib off the high. Yeah, so just the back and forth there. Okay. Double bottom, push to the upside. Um, so looking for that to continue right long after maybe a pullback here. So we'll come down to the 1 and we'll track this one off the low. Boom. 8-6 retracement, pushing long. If we run a sub fib off this last leg just to track this move, look for this pullback to happen here and then a continuation long. Something like that. Then that continuation. Okay. So looking long on the Cadian as well. Um, just a matter of when that shows up for us. Okay. Questions on the Cadian. Nope. All right. Cool deal. Swiss yen. Continue to drive lower, gave us a double bottom. All right. Stochastic back into that buy zone. Just shy of a double bottom right there. New swing low to form there, bullish action. Right. So this one is also setting up for a move back to the upside, right? With that swing low to form there and that stochastic back into that buy zone. So looking for this one to continue moving to the upside from a fib perspective. There we go. There we are in the fib, right? 786 retracement, double bottom in that zone. Look for a matching extension 183,608. Okay. Haven't been able to break out to the downside here as much as it's tried. Okay. So looking for this move back to the upside. We'll see when we get to 180 how things respond, but looking for this move back long. 1100 pips to that destination there. Okay. We come down to the 4. Let me clean this up. Tons of back and forth here. And just look at it for what it is. And that's a 618 retracement. Okay. That matching extension is in line with that daily D extension as well. Okay. So, I'm sorry. That was just the daily still. My bad. 1 second. That got changed up on me. There we go. There we go. Still a 618 retracement here. Excuse me. But matching extension is in line, right? So looking at this range here for an end destination. Okay. Um, Beautiful move to the upside. We haven't broken that cloud yet. Stochastic is in the sell zone here, so could get a pullback and then see if we get that ABCD wave to the upside. Let's take a look at on the one. Okay. But looking long here. Looking long here. Okay. Coming down to the one. Boom. 80-20. Beautiful move to the upside. We're at TP1. Right. So we're moving long here. 80-20 in play. Stochastic in the sell zone on the one. So we'll look for a pullback off the low. That was going. There, not a swing high. Yeah, don't have a swing high yet on that, so we'll wait for that. We'll wait for this new AB boundary to form here, but ultimately looking for pullbacks and continuations, right? Beautiful cloud break. See if we get a nice retracement on that, something like that there. Then look for that continuation long. Okay. But that's what I'm looking at on the Swiss yen. All right. So all of the yens are setting up for these moves to the upside. We'll see how long they last, right? See if things change from the Bank of Japan. But as of right now, we got some nice setups on across the board on the yens, looking to the upside. Okay. Um, so that's where we are there on the Swiss yen, looking long. Questions? Nope. All right. On to the euro yen, right? Again, bouncing back and forth, but still in the zone, right? Not able to break out. Not able to break out in either direction, but just landing in this 8-6 retracement area. Okay. Nice push back to the upside, retesting previous support there. Stochastic is in the buy zone. Okay, stochastic is in the buy zone. Swing low form, right? Close of the candle today. We'll have a nice swing low there. Double bottom. Again, looking long, right? We have to break through this level of 159, which is previous support. Excuse me. But if we're able to, right, looking top side, double top here at 175, we'll see if we get to these higher levels, 180. But as of right now, all right, I'm just looking for double top scenarios here. Okay. But let's see if we're able to get a catalyst here to get this moving to the upside. Okay. Went out to the 4. Took all those A's out. So pull all this out. Take these out. And we'll just look at downside action. Boom. All right, so that was a fresh AB boundary and reversal. Okay, so looking long here. Gonna wait to remove that fib until we take out the A, right? I want to see a nice Kumo twist here on the cloud, a nice cloud break, and the A to be taken out, right? That'll give me some additional confirmation of this move long, right? That we're able to break through this 159 level and have a nice continuation to the upside there. Okay, so keep my eyes on that. So I'll keep that 4 hour looking like that for now. We'll come down to the one. and there was your move there on the one. Okay. So moving to the upside, waiting on some additional pieces. Beautiful cloud break there. Waiting on some additional pieces on the higher time frames just to confirm that longer move, right? Break above this level, taking out the A, breaking that cloud on the 4. Okay. We can run a sub fib off this just to track these levels. 80-20, look for a pullback here, right? And if that's what you're looking for an entry on that, you can then play that to the upside. Okay. So that's the euro yen. I'm going to watch this one more off of this 4-hour time frame, right? I get a nice little pullback here, and then we'll look for that action like that. Questions on the euro yen? Nope. Okay. Pound yen, similar story. All right, push down to that 786 level. Nice swing low form, stochastic in the buy zone. Boom. Right? So we're looking long here. Broke back through that level there, right? Which is previous support. No longer, right? So now we're headed topside. Okay. Definitely looking long here. 786 retracement, matching extension 204. Looking to get back to 208 overall. Okay. Um, looking for this one to continue to the upside as well. All right, and you see all these yens are in alignment from a technical perspective, right? So as I do my research tonight on where the Bank of Japan is, okay, where the Bank of Japan is and what their recent conversations have been, I have a technical reference, and then that'll give me the fundamental reference to either confirm or deny, right? The opportunity or potential for a price to get back up to 208. Okay. So, but that's where I am right now, right? Nice, beautiful move to the upside. That's your trend line break there, right? Again, want to see this cloud get broken on the 4 with a nice Kumo twist. Not quite there yet. So I am looking for a pullback and then a continuation. Okay. Looking for that type of action there. All right. So as we come down to the 1, right, there is your 80-20, just with that 118 level. And there's your push, cloud break and all, right? So now let's track these movements here. Track these ABCD waves, see if we get a nice pull back into the zone. Nice pull back into the zone. And then a push. Okay. So that's what we're looking for. That's what we're looking for. All right. All the yens are setting up to move to the upside in beautiful ways. And all of them are in similar scenarios from a daily perspective, right? Stochastic in the buy zone. Stochastic in the buy zone, and swing loans have either formed or are forming. Right. So technically we're in alignment. So now we're looking for the fundamentals to align with that. Okay. Questions on any of the yens? Nope. All right. All right. All right. What's the other? Take a look quickly at oil. Read the articles on oil and the back and forth there, right? Oil pushed down. We were looking at it previously in that 618 range, pushed down to that 786 level. Okay, remove this other AB boundary. Boom, retested the cloud, pushing out of that buy zone there. All right, we're still bullish ahead with some consolidation, but 786 retracement, looking at a matching extension of $84. Okay, so looking for potential more up movement. We'll see how things play out with the tariffs and with the sanctions on Russia, um, and the back and forth that's happening there. But overall, I am looking for oil to continue moving to the upside. Um, so we'll see how things go there. Joy, you able to chat?
Hey,
Happy birthday.
thank you.
You're welcome. Um, you got any details on oil and where things are?
Um, I wasn't able to do any research last night. But basically, because Benny had asked me yesterday, is the same. I think it's going to be stagnant until they make up their mind with the tariffs and with all the sanctions, because
Okay.
he's going back and forth. It was moving good, and then the day that he pulled the deals back from Euro, price started dropping back down.
Ah, okay.
So I think that's probably the one another reason why we getting that move back down. I lost the article. It was something about euro and energy and stuff like that. So now they're basically insinuating it's like it's an energy war now.
Mm, I dig it. I dig it. Okay. Okay. Appreciate the insight.
Hmm.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. And if things start to deteriorate or if they start to get better. It'll be interesting to see
But
where that goes.
I was just looking at it technical because all the fundamentals is making it. It's on my downstairs computers, and I know I'm on my upstairs computer. The 4 hour, I was waiting to see if price was going to break over the 4 hour 200 level. And I believe what it did was actually touch. It was like 73.53. It was, where the 200 was at. And it
Uh-huh.
looked like a little, the high form there. So now I'm just going off like technical. So with me looking at the cloud, with that base looking like it's being right, see if we get a twist right there, and if price settle right there to see if price will continue to go higher from there. Because if you put your 50 and your 20 on, I think their price is right at the 50 and the 20.
Gotcha.
So like a breakout move.
Gotcha. Okay. Sweet. Sweet. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. All right. So we'll see where we are here, right? Joyce saying see if we settle in here and get a nice push back to the upside with that Akumo twist. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. Whoops. Let's go down to the one. Take a look at it there. And you got a nice break on the one, right? So guys can the buy zone there. So next piece is can we get a break on the four? Okay. Can we get a break on the four? So watching that there. My bias to the upside, we'll see if that plays out. Joy said watching it technically, looking for breakout to the upside as well. Okay. Questions on oil? Nope. All right, cool deal. Then take a look at nat gas, and that's where we'll wrap it up for the day. Trying to get some movement back to the upside. trying to get some movement back to the upside, right? Strong move down, lingering here. We got stochastic in the sell zone. So we could potentially see another move down, guys. Let's watch this and see what happens here. Just as I'm looking at this, could be forming a head and shoulders pattern here. I'm gonna watch that and see how that plays out, especially with that stochastic being in the sell zone here. I'm gonna watch that closely there. My bias is still long overall, but it's a question of do we get a deeper retracement here? Do we get a deeper retracement here? Okay. Um, Gonna watch this and see. Cloud is bearish ahead. Haven't fully broken through the cloud yet. All right. But this was a strong move down. Strong move to the downside. Um, I'm gonna watch this. Gonna watch this. Might pare down some of my positions and look for a low price at 27 or 2070 cents. We'll watch that. We'll watch that and see how it develops. Coming down to the 4. Take this off. Keep that in the back of our mind and see what happens. Down here on the 4. Just barely stayed inside that A boundary. That stochastic is higher in the zone as well. So we got a mismatch here, right? This stochastic is on its way down. Daily is high in the zone. Um, you had a bearish break of the cloud on the daily and trying to break the cloud bullish here on the 4. So this is going to be an interesting back and forth to see what this consolidation ends up being like. Okay. I'm going to watch this here. Okay. Um, and we'll see what happens here. That'll be interesting. Let's see what that looks like, Joy.
So on the weekly, the um the highest recently high was at 3.75 5 with the new high forming at 432.20 4.3214. So the previous highest high, well, not a highest high. I'm sorry. I'll take that back. I had to scrunch in my what's the name, but I have a SRT line at between 36525 and 27489. Um,
Hmm.
because if you look at your weekly, you can see right there that's where price was consolidating at. So
Yeah.
I was looking for and price did break above the cloud, the lag and everything is up. The casket basically just came down to it just broke below the 50 with this recent down move. So I was looking to see probably a little bit more down. Like if it goes past that too, then we do have a significant downturn. But if price play and bounce back up and we can break above the 4.321, I was looking for that.
I dig that. I dig that for sure. For sure. Um, so let's see. Let's see how this develops. Uh, let's watch this one closely. So dig that range that you're watching, Joy. My eyes are in a similar area, right? If we can break that high. Um, Want to see if this on the lower time frame, if this turns over and makes this right shoulder. Um, let's watch this one closely, guys, and see what happens here. Let's watch this, see what, because especially with the stochastic and the sell zone here, um, that's why I'm looking at, okay, could we turn over and get another push to the downside before we get a run up? So we'll watch that and see from weekly, daily, 4 hour time frame.
We need the snow to go back to the south so they can turn their
Man, listen,
on.
heck yeah, we just left New Orleans. It was 80 degrees.
Ooh.
Um, so let's see what happens here. Let's see what happens here. We'll watch that part closely. Coming down to one. I'm just gonna run a fib here. We'll watch that fib there and see what happens. Okay. So this one is in an interesting place. We'll watch it and see how it goes as we move through the rest of this week. See if we get that right shoulder to form or not. Okay. Questions on anything that we covered this morning? No. All right, good people. We will be back at it tomorrow morning, 6:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for the pre-New York session. I'm gonna do some work on these on the Bank of Japan, see what I can find, and I'll keep you guys posted. All right. Have a phenomenal Wednesday. And we'll see you in the morning. Peace.